Honorable Chairperson of the inaugural function, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Ganeshi Lal University, Mathura, Uttar Pradesh State, Honorable Pro Chancellor, Honorable Registrar for Administration, Honorable Registrar for Evaluation, members of the syndicate, members of the Senate, members of the Academic Council, members of the IQAC department, deans, HODs, professors, associate professors, assistant professors, technical team, administrative staff, supportive staff, security staff of this university, the chief guest of the function, most distinguished guests, special invitees, Mr. Harish Goyal, the keynote speaker, hosting team members of the Department of English, Professor Panchan Mahanti, Dr. Kasturi Srinarahari, the host coordinator, IASFS team members of the advisory committee, members of the executive committee of IASFS, coordinators of all the 11 collaborating organizations, anchor persons of the respective ensuing conference sessions, chat history executives, reporters, live members, members of the organizing committee, guest speakers, Mrs. Sadhna Shankar, IRS, Dr. Sai Baba M, Dr. Vasudev P. Rao, Ms. Lucy Lukakovikova, Dr. Deirdre Flynn, Mr. Deep Ghosh, Mr. Vandy, Dr. Vandy, Dr. Wendy Van Camp, Dr. Ravichandra P. Chittampalli, Professor Baliram N. Gaikwad, Dr. Dinesh Kumar Nair, Dr. Madhu Chittaru, Mr. Kasturi Murli Krishna, Mr. Salim IRS, Dr. Meghashri Tadve, Dr. Arvind Mishra, Dr. D.P. Singh, Dr. D.C. Goswami, Mrs. Savita Srinivas IPS, Dr. Ira Natarajan, Mrs. Archana Mirajkar, chairpersons of the exclusive sessions, Dr. Balpundke, Dr. Ratnakar Belkar, and Dr. Santosh Jike. Moderators, Mr. Nilesh Malvinkar and Mr. Gautam Shinai. Panelists, Dr. Vandana Singh, Dr. Suparna Banerjee, Mr. Sumit Kumar Bardan, Mr. Dinkar Charak, Mr. Himanshu Thakur, Mr. Mahendra Shalar, Mr. Samir Savan, Mr. Mangesh Taide, Mr. Sanjay Kumar Thakur. Great personalities in the field of performing arts, Mr. Akshara KV, Vidushi Vasundhara Sharma, Vidushi Purnima Rajani, Vidushi Srilatha Nikit, Vidwan Puttu Nikit. Great motivators, Mr. A.P. Deshpande, Dr. Bal Phundke, Dr. Jayant V. Nalikar, Dr. A.P. Jayaraman, IASFS Founder President, Dr. Purushothaman, my counterparts, Mr. Deep Ghosh, Mr. Prasanna Karandika, Professor Savita Patil, Professor Balaji Enavale, Dr. Soumya Mulkesh, Dr. Manisha Patil, Dr. Kanagaselvam, Dr. Sangeeta, and Mr. Ajay Divekar, my technical team members, Mr. Dayanand Hedji, Mr. Rahul Malagan, and Mr. Uday, authors, critics, publishers, columnists, scientists, engineers, journalists, paper presenters, social media friends, delegates, observers, sci-fi fans, media persons, ladies and gentlemen. IASFS had organized 20 conferences in collaboration with many organizations in the past, since in 1998 of its establishment till to date. Indian Association for Science Fiction Studies, in collaboration with Marathi Vignan Parishad, Mumbai, Maharashtra, University Research Publication, Walambur, University of Kerala, Kerala, TWJ Foundation, the Social Reforms, Pagmala, Chiplun, Ratnagiri District, Maharashtra State, Adbud.in, Bangalore, Karnataka, Kalpabishwar.com, Kolkata, West Bengal, Department of Studies in English, Elphinstone College, Dr. Homi Baba University, Mumbai, Maharashtra, Department of Studies in English, Devgiri College, Department of Studies in English, Devgiri College, MSP Mandal, Department of Studies in English, Devgiri College, MSP Mandal, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Aurangabad, Maharashtra, Department of Studies in English, Ganeshi Lal Agarwal University, Mathura, Uttar Pradesh, Department of English, KSR Institute of Engineering and Technology, Tiruchenagode, Namakkal District, Tamil Nadu, Guru Nanak College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Mumbai, is organizing the present 21st annual 6th International Science Fiction Conference for a period of 4 days. 15th century saint poet Purandara Das had penned a song meant to pacify the weeping infants to get sleep. Taramaya Yadukula Variti Chandramana. The song has a reference to the starry world and introduces the infants Mathura Nagarvante, that is the city of Mathura, as the origin for generating stories. During the present conference, scholars, authors, and students would be discussing on the advanced form of storytelling techniques of the science fiction genre. I'm extremely happy that the inaugural function is being organized by GLAU Mathura with great pomp and glory. Often a question pops up in one's mind. How science fiction has been appealing to one and all, namely to all ages and to all levels of people without any barriers like gender, race, class, or nationality. Perhaps science fiction is just like a universal solvent. It can dissolve any solute. It has no temporal and spatial boundaries. The strength of the genre is the binding force of science and technology to hold it firmly and does not allow it to fall. With these words, let me briefly tell you about the present conference. After the inaugural function, Hindi science fiction prolific writer Mr. Harish Goyal from Ajmer, Rajasthan is delivering the keynote address. It would be followed by a panel discussion on recent trends in Indian, South Asian science fiction. The panelists are Mr. Dinkar Charak and Sumit Kumar Bardhan from India, Dr. Vandana Singh and Dr. Suparna Banerjee from the USA. Mr. Gautam Shenai would be moderating the discussion. The year 2021-22 marks India's Swatantrata Ka Amrit Varsh. The celebration would be a part of the celebration. The year 2021-22 marks India's Swatantrata Ka Amrit Varsh. The celebration would be a part of the conference. Today morning, we had the curtain raiser program. Today and tomorrow, without hindering the regular conference timings, the organizers have planned to present a Veena Mridangam Jugalbandi by Vidushi YG Srilatha Nikit and Vidwan Putto Nikit of Chennai, a play Malati Madhva by Neenasam Troup Heggodu Sagara Shimoga, Hindustani vocal music concert by Vidushi Vasudha Sharma from Sagar, and Bharatanatyam Arangetram performance by Miss Ananya Mani, a disciple of Vidushi Purnima Rajni from the National Institute of Dance, Arts and Music, Bangalore. We will begin tomorrow's program with another panel discussion on the impact of IT industry on the society. The panelists are Mr. Himanshu Thakur, UK, Mr. Mahendra Shalar, USA, Mr. Samir Sawant, Australia, Mr. Mangesh Taide, India, and Mr. Sanjay Kumar Thakur, Saudi Arabia. Mr. Nilesh Malwanka, USA, would be moderating the discussion. Equally attractive it would be the seminar on science and poetry, which would be organized by Guru Nanak College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Mumbai. The session will be chaired by Dr. Ratnakar Bhelkar. On the day after tomorrow, special lectures will be delivered. On the day after tomorrow, special lectures will be delivered by distinguished guest Dr. Vasudeva P. Rao. On the day after tomorrow, special lectures will be delivered by distinguished guest Dr. Vasudeva P. Rao, a scientist from Bangalore, on the topic Protein Engineering from Farming to Pharmaceuticals. It will be followed by a special lecture on My Journey of Writing Science Fiction by Mrs. Sadhna Shankar, IRS Principal Director General, Income Tax, Government of India. Next to it, we have a special lecture on the topic The Supernaturals of Spain by eminent science fiction writer Miss Lucy Lukakovikova from Prague, Czech Republic. It's a red letter day as IASFS celebrates the birthday of Professor J.V. Nalekar, an astrophysicist and a trendsetter of Indian science fiction. He has consented to celebrate his birthday as the Indian Science Fiction Day. Marathi Vigyan Parishad, Mumbai, will organize the seminar on science fiction as a part of the celebration. Eminent personalities from various parts of India would be partaking in it. They are speaking on Hindi science fiction by Dr. Arvind Mishra, Varanasi, Punjabi science fiction by Dr. D.P. Singh, Kannada science fiction by Mrs. Savitha Srinivas, IPS, Bangalore, Assamese science fiction by Dr. D.C. Goswami from Guwahati, Tamil science fiction by Dr. Ira Nadarajan, Kadlur, Tamil Nadu, Mrs. Archana Merachka from New Delhi. Dr. Bal Phonke has kindly consented to chair the session. The credit goes to Mr. A.P. Deshpande, Honorary Secretary of Marathi Vigyan Parishad and a lifelong dedicated science communicator for organizing this event. The interesting sessions on 20th of July would be a special lecture on science fiction in Ireland by Dr. Deirdre Flynn, Limerick, Ireland. The interesting sessions on 20th of July would be a special lecture on science fiction in Ireland by Dr. Deirdre Flynn, Limerick, Ireland. Added to this, we have a special lecture on artificial intelligence and society by Professor M. Sai Baba, Bangalore. As an added bonus, we have a lecture on a review of the science fiction works translated into Bengali language by Mr. D.P. Ghosh, Kolkata. And most importantly, paper presentation sessions on voice of the researchers, PhD students, chaired by Dr. Santosh G.K. Bellary. A session on poetry and science will be chaired by Dr. Ratnakar Bhelkar, the panelists being Dr. Wendy Van Camp, California, Dr. Ravichandra P. Chittampalli, Mysore, Professor Baliram N. Gaikwad, Uram, Dr. Dinesh Kumar Nair, Mumbai. Hope it would be our pioneer attempt in organizing a panel on Telugu science fiction authors speak. Hope it would be our pioneer attempt in organizing a panel on Telugu science fiction authors speak with the panelists Dr. Madhu Chittaru, Mr. Kasturi Muralikrishna, and Mr. Salim Ayagas from Hyderabad, Telangana. The valedictory function will be organized later. The valedictory address will be delivered by Dr. Purushothaman, the founder president of IASFS. Science fiction has two hands, namely literature and science and technology. There would be a number of paper presentations equally by students on a variety of topics. They require encouragement. Hope with your expertise in the field, you would all partake in the interactive sessions and appreciate their work and guide them in the right direction. Thank you all.